Jamey Johnson. What in the world?
Hey, hey, hey.
Dude, it's good to see you.
Good to see y'all too.
Yeah. You took your motorcycle over here? Is that what you did?
Yeah, you got to crank it up every now and then, or the battery dies.
What do you drive? What do you ride?
So, the motorcycle I'm on right now belonged to a man named Josh Powell. He was a big fan, and he passed away from a blood cancer years ago. And I think he and his wife met over my music in some way. So Fabiana came to a show we did down in Franklin, at the Franklin Theater, and we got to be good friends after that. It was kind of like, I don't know, a bond had been made in some way.
Yeah.
Well, so she didn't have room in her garage for the bike anymore, and it wasn't ever going to get cranked and run, and so I just made a deal with her. We keep it at my place if she ever wants it back, you know.
Yeah,
she
that's
knows
cool.
where it is.
And so you go out and you ride it and just kind of keep it in running condition.
It's kind of like Lee Bryce and the truck. But
Yeah.
This is I ride his motorcycle.
Yeah. That's right. Jamey Johnson is our guest. We've got a lot to talk about, including some of the great songs and good memories. We come back more with Jamey Johnson on the way next. Jamey Johnson joining us on the show, and man, I got to tell you, In Colors is, to me, I think, one of the best written and performed songs. I like that. I like Miranda, House That Built Me, I feel is right. I put those. How does this song come about, In Color?
It have to originate with just being colorblind. I never knew I was colorblind until I went to get in the Marine Corps. They handed me that test that's got all the little dots on it.
Uh-huh.
And he said, "What number do you see?" And, well, I'm good in inventory, so I started counting them across and down.
Oh, wow.
And I was halfway through my count, and I thought, this guy's getting a little impatient. Who the hell else counts these some bitches this fast? And I didn't see a number
They
standing
took
out.
you anyway, though. They'll take you.
It's a test I'd never seen before.
Sign up here.
And
He
how
said,
many dots were on there?
He said, "Did anybody ever tell you you're colorblind?" And I said, "No." He said, "You don't care, do you?" I said, "No." We're getting in the Marine Corps today. I said, I didn't know about the color test. But back when I was little, I remember watching the color TV for the first time and getting to see Wizard of Oz. Mm-hmm. And they had this big slogan, "See it in color." And so that just always registered with me. And something I think colorblind people do naturally that you wouldn't think of is they learn how to get around the color blindness. They learn how to associate things, instead of having 3 different color pieces of paper, they might associate it with the size of the paper,
right?
Or that one of them's got a folded over corner and stuff like that. But their brain's working around the problem.
So your senses actually pick up and fill in. You find other ways to adapt.
Yeah. So we were at the BMI Awards, and they were playing these pictures on the wall using the projector screens, and I was sitting there watching the same pictures everybody else was. It wasn't really like a part of the show. It was just stuff that was playing while you're having a drink, finding your seat, and all that stuff. Well, the next day, I ran into Lee Thomas Miller on a sidewalk out front of the BMI building, and Lee said, "You know those black and white pictures they were playing on the wall the other night, last night?" I said, "Yeah." And that was the first time I found out they were in black and white.
Oh, you didn't know, right? Yeah, right.
He says, "I know what I see when I look at that picture. I see a very young Bill Anderson with a couple of other people that I don't know who they are." He said, "I wonder what somebody like Bill sees when he looks at those pictures. Is he seeing him signing his very first publishing deal or record deal or what?" And I said, "Yeah, you should have seen it in color, huh?" And when he said something about the black and white pictures, the first thing my brain did was go right over to the Wizard of Oz slogan, "See it in color."
Yeah.
And so that's where it all came from. I said, yeah, you should have seen it in color, huh? And we had that Dewey Cox moment where you stare off into the wilderness and go, oh.
I think we did something.
When we went to write that song, we had the coffee made and we're sitting down and phone rang, and it was James Otto, and his co-writers had canceled on him that day. And I told him, I said, we back out this one whooped already. It ain't even started. I said, why don't you come over here and write this one with us? And he came over. He's the one that brought that melody. So the reason that it's the chords are what they are is James Otto.
Wow.
We have him to thank for that.
Jamey Johnson hanging with us. You've got to tell the story, please, of Trace and Honky Tonk Badonkadonk.
Oh, yeah. Well, so that song was born in a bar.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I've never understood how you can go from In Color, The Dollar, to Honky Tonk Badonkadonk. Did you take heat from your buds at all?
The weed?
Heat.
The heat. Did you take heat from your buds going, dude, you wrote a song about Honky Tonk Badonkadonk? What in the world?
All right, the buds it must be.
Oh, buds. Oh, I got you. Well, you really are an artist.
Heat and buds, I got. No, I didn't care and still don't care.
Yeah.
What anybody has to say about that. It doesn't matter to me at all.
Yeah.
We were standing there watching the dance floor, and it was me and Randy Houser and Dallas Davidson, and we were all kids. It seemed like at the time we were probably in our late 20s, but we thought we had the world figured out.
Yeah.
We were all working on publishing deals and playing these little gigs and everything, but we were still so broke that the best way we could hang out would be over at the Wild Horse Saloon, and the only reason was because Rob Hatch was a bartender over there at the time. Rob Hatch, who is now a prolific songwriter and running a label. But at the time, he was the bartender at the Wild Horse Saloon, and he spilled a lot of beer in our direction. So that we were sitting there watching the dance floor, and evidently all of us were watching something completely different. They were staring at this beauty queen over there, a model who had come to town to party for a couple of days. And I was looking at this obviously corporate party. These were people who were not supposed to be hanging out together in this environment. It was almost like the cubicles cleared out and they got on the plane, came straight to Nashville, and went right up in this bar. And we caught them about the time that the third drink must have been kicking in. This gal had she was unloading. She had a butt that looked like you just rammed a couple of beach balls down inside a pair of jeans. And I was watching her. I was watching her working that thing around. She changed the order of the dance floor, like everything was coming this way. Had to turn around and go back. you ever see dancers that stumble upon that?
Over.
Yeah. So she was up there dropping it down and hitting the floor with it and everything else. And I thought, damn. And about that time, either Randy or Dallas, I can't remember, one of them said, Badonkadonk, and then the other one said Honky Tonk Badonkadonk. And when I heard that, I just looked at them both. I said, I'm in.
I'm done.
I heard that, and there's a song there. And the funniest thing was we were in the middle of writing that song, which every bit of it took 30 minutes, and we spent most of that time slobbering and laughing and, just trying to catch our breath. But I remember me and Dallas having this it was a half serious conversation about whether or not we would include Donkey Kong.
Just trying to find a way to work it in.
And that lasted every bit of 2 seconds. I had just spit out the brilliant line of slap your grandma. Dallas looked at me like, oh, slap your grandma's fine, but Donkey Kong's over the line. So That's what I mean. We were having these deep theological discussions on country music and honky tonk badonkadonk. What would be acceptable and what would be just too far.
Too much.
Yeah.
Jamey Johnson, our guest today. You went through some stuff, man. You went through a lot of stuff. Losing labels support, and they don't like this album. They don't like this song. Ticket sales are that. And you get to a point where you just had to rebuild yourself, and that's what you've done. But George Strait had a big part in that, didn't he?
He did. Absolutely.
What happened?
Well, George just would record my songs, which that by itself made me relevant, I guess.
Also paid bills.
Hell yeah, it paid some bills. Thank you.
Give It Away was a big, huge song for George. It was his 51st #1. It was a record now, a new record, and so it was all over the place. But where were you as a person at that time?
Well, I was just a dad trying to pay bills myself. I had a young daughter, and I was doing whatever I needed to do to make ends meet, not just for her, but my ex-wife, and just handling business. That's
life
all
stuff.
it was. It was a struggle, and but at the same time, it was the first time in my life that I had a job I couldn't be fired from.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I think led to drinking all hours of the day and all through the night too. I used to only drink when I played, and then I started playing every day, and then I started drinking every day.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can't be fired, there's no reason not to start at 10 a.m.
That's right.
So it took me a while to kind of grow out of that phase. In fact, it took a good while. My daughter was 7 years old the last time I had a drink. It was September 8th, 2011. And the next day, I was just resolved, and I was done with it.
Cold turkey, you just quit.
I didn't need it anymore. I didn't want it. And, just like you'd wire up one of these mixing boards in here, you have to take that thing out of a place of pleasure and plug it into a place of pain. Mm-hmm. That if I do this, it's not gonna bring me the pleasure I used to get. And now I'm 100% convinced of it. It will absolutely ruin everything that I've built.
Well, I mean, you look around, we have a legacy in country music of people losing themselves to the drink. Yeah. And it's a very powerful statement for you to say that, I just stopped.
Yeah.
And you're here.
Well, I needed to. I realized I was going to be an example to my little girl, one way or the other. And what was I being an example of? And I couldn't do that. I'm here to do way more important things than get drunk.
Yeah.
So.
Now you're married. You got a beautiful bride. She's way smarter than you are.
Hell yeah.
But you have a better beard, I will say. Your beard is much better than hers is.
Yeah, you can't win them all.
The one and only Jamey Johnson, everyone. Thank you, Jamey.
Thank you.
Wow, that was a great video.
Pretty good.
I know you want to watch more of our videos, so do the like and subscribe thing.
Thank you, and sorry about all that.